Hello students, welcome back to this new video where we will discuss the MCQs, the multiple choice questions from the short story The Story of an Hour by Kate Chopin. True to its title, it relates the tale of an eventful hour of a woman's life, Mrs. Mallard, leading to her curious death. Well, let us begin without wasting any more time. Question 1. Great care was taken to break the news of Mrs. Mallard's husband's possible death to her. Why? And your options are: option 1, Mrs. Mallard would burst out sobbing. Option 2, Mrs. Mallard was afflicted with heart trouble. Option 3, Mrs. Mallard would be shocked at the news. Or option 4, Mrs. Mallard could not have believed the news. And the right answer is option 2, Mrs. Mallard was afflicted with heart trouble, and that is why they took great care to break the news of her husband's death to her, which could obviously be shocking to her. And it is very, very natural that that this kind of a news is shocking for any woman. Moving on to the next question, question number 2. Who broke the news of Mr. Mallard's death to Mrs. Mallard? Options: option 1, Josephine, Jonathan, Richards, or option 4, Genelia. And the right answer is option 1, Josephine. Moving on to the next question. How many characters are there in the story? 4, 6, 3, or 5? And the right answer is option 4, 5. Why? Because the characters are Mrs. Mallard, Mr. Mallard, Richards, Josephine, and a doctor. Moving on to the next question, question number 4. She did not hear the story as many women have heard the same. A. Who is the she here? Options: option 1, Josephine, option 2, Louis, option 3, Kate, option 4, Julia. And the right answer is option 2, Louis, who is actually Mrs. Mallard. Moving on to the next, 4B. Which story is referred to here? Mrs. Mallard's death, Richard's coming, Louis' heartbreak, or Mr. Mallard's death? And the right answer is Mr. Mallard's death. The story of Mr. Mallard's death is being referred. Question number C. How do many women hear the news? Option 1, with ease and comfort. Option 2, with a belief in cycle of life and death. Option 3, with acceptance of the incident. Option 4, with a paralyzed inability to accept its significance. And the right answer is option 4, with a paralyzed inability to accept its significance. 4D. What was Mrs. Mallard's initial reaction to the story? She was paralyzed with grief. Option 2, she broke completely. Option 3, she wept at once in her sister's arms. Option 4, she stormed to her room. And the right answer is option 3, she wept at once in her sister Josephine's arms. She wept at once in her sister's arms. Moving on to question number 5. On entering Mrs. Mallard's room upstairs, what is it she did not do? Options: sat into a roomy armchair, stood facing the closed door, she was haunted by physical exhaustion, her tiredness seemed to reach her soul. And the right answer is option 2, stood facing the closed door. She did not stand facing the closed door, and that is the right answer. Moving on to the next question, question number 6. Question number 6. What was the original title of the story, The Story of an Hour? The Dream of an Hour, Life in an Hour, The Tale of an Hour, Death in an Hour. And the right answer is option 1, The Dream of an Hour. Question number 7. Which character is not present in the beginning of the story? Options: Louis, Josephine, Richards, or the doctor. And the right answer is option 4, doctor. Question number 8. How does Mrs. Mallard define love? As a strong feeling, as a petty sentiment, as an unsolved mystery, or as a powerful instrument in guiding our lives? And the right answer is as an unsolved mystery. Mrs. Mallard felt love is an unsolved mystery. Question number 9. Mrs. Mallard From her window could see the trees aquiver with new spring life. What does this suggest? Options: Mrs. Mallard becomes aware of a new reality. Mrs. Mallard sees the world in a new light. Mrs. Mallard is overwhelmed by the sights and sounds of the world. Is it none of these or is it all of these? And the right answer is option 5, all of this. Yes, Mrs. Mallard becomes aware of a beautiful new reality even at the heartbreaking news of her husband's death. Next, question number 10. How does the narrator describe Mrs. Mallard's face? Young, fair, and calm, young, fair, and depressed, young, fair, and horrified, young, fair, and wild. And the right answer is option 1, young, fair, and calm. The narrator describes her as young, fair, and calm. Question number 11. The twittering of which birds reached Mrs. Mallard's ears? Cuckoo, manna, sparrows, or hummingbird? And the right answer is option 3, sparrows. She could hear the twittering of the sparrows from her room after she went upstairs. Now, moving on to the next question, question number 12. The lines on Mrs. Mallard's face spoke of repression, strength, both of these, or none of these. And the right answer will be option 3, both of this. There was repression of years of marriage, but there was strength with which she was bearing the marriage, or she was bearing the relationship, which was perhaps not a very happy one in her heart of hearts. Moving on to question number 13. The dull stare of Mrs. Mallard's eyes had a reflective stare, indicated a suspension of intelligent thought, a glance of sorrow, were blank. And the right answer is option 2, indicated a suspension of intelligent thought. So for the time being, she had suspended her thought process and was just trying to take in whatever was happening to her or whatever was happening around her. Moving on to question number 14. She was striving to beat it back with her will. A. What does it refer to? Sense of loss, sense of satisfaction, sense of grief, or sense of freedom? And the right answer is option 4, sense of freedom. She was striving to beat back the sense of freedom that was rising in her heart. Next, moving on to the next question, question number 14b. 14b. Why was she striving to beat it back? Why was she striving to beat it back? And the options are: as she wanted to follow the norm, as she could not believe she could feel like this, as she felt it was not right. Option 4, all of these. Option 5, none of these. And the right answer is option 4, all of these. She was feeling that she could not feel happy, she could not feel free like that. She cannot feel like that at the death of her husband. Although it is very, very true, or rather, if we think in a logical manner, then this sense of freedom might come after years of marriage, which was a heartbreaking one or which was a repressive one for her. Next, question number C. The striving echoes which theme of the story? Options: construction of the institution of marriage in our society, construction of femininity in our society, freedom and happiness. Option 4, all of these. Option 5, none of these. And the right answer is option 4, all of these. So the right answer is option 4, all of these. The striving in Mrs. Mallard reflects all these themes which are present in the story. There is this theme of marriage, or how we look upon marriage in our society. There is the theme of femininity, and there is also the theme of freedom and happiness. Moving on to question number 15. In Mrs. Mallard's epiphanic moment, options: there are demonic touches, there is cruelish expectation, there is a close relationship between freedom and happiness, there is extreme sorrow. And the right answer is option 3, there is a close relationship between freedom and happiness. So it is Mrs. Mallard's epiphanic moment, because then she realizes that freedom and happiness is very, very close to each other, and that Freedom can give you happiness. It is happiness that is derived from freedom. So if you are free from any kind of relationship, then also you could be happy. Happiness could be some feeling that you feel alone. That is what she realizes. Moving on to question number 16. The vacant stare and the look of terror that had followed it went from her eyes. How did her eyes appear once the look of terror was gone? So, here we talk about the eyes of Mrs. Mallard, Louis, and we know that there was a vacant stare in her eyes and there was a look of terror. Terror because she did not know what was actually happening to her, she did not know how to react. Well, let us see the options. Option 1, the eyes stayed keen and bright. Option 2, the eyes became dull. Option 3, the eyes became sleepy. Option 4, the eyes stayed tearful. And the right answer is option 1, the eyes stayed keen and bright. Question number 17. Mrs. Mallard is said to experience a monstrous joy. Why do you think the phrase monstrous joy is used? Because the joy was not for the right cause, because she ought not be joyful then, because the joy was not natural, because the joy she was experiencing made her seem unfeeling and hard hearted. So, the right answer is option 4, because the joy she was experiencing made her seem unfeeling and hard hearted. And that is why it is called a monstrous joy. She felt that she was experiencing a monstrous joy. Next, question number 18. What was it that Mrs. Mallard visualized beyond the bitter moment? Options: years of happiness, years of freedom, years of healthy life, or years of sorrow. And the right answer is yes, option 1, option 2, years of freedom. She was visualizing years of freedom beyond this bitter moment when she had received the news of her husband's death. Now, moving on to question number 19. What was the strongest impulse she felt at that moment? Options: option 1, possession of loneliness. Option 2, a sense of hollowness inside her. 3, a sense of loss. Option 4, possession of self assertion. And the right answer is option 4, possession of self assertion. So, this was the strongest impulse, this was the strongest feeling that she was experiencing at that point of time. At that moment, she felt that she could assert herself, she could assert her own identity and become an individual once again. Next, question number 20. The story raises some important questions around options: the construction of femininity, the institution of marriage. Option 3, expectation of the society from a married woman. Option 4, all of these. And the right answer is option 4, all of these. The story raises important questions around these very, very important issues, like the construction of femininity in our society, how we look upon marriage as an institution in our society, and what are the expectations from a married woman, what are the typical expectations of our society from a married woman. These are few questions that comes up through the portrayal of the character of Mrs. Mallard in the story. And Kate Chopin has very nicely, very skillfully integrated these themes, these important issues in the story, but she has never been vocal about them. She's never directly saying us anything, she's never directly telling us things, but through the portrayal of the character and through her beautiful writing, she has somehow told us that how the story centers around these important issues and how the story tells us that we need to really change our ideas about these concepts. Well, the next question, question number 21. It was only yesterday she had thought with a shudder that life might be long. What does the line imply? Options: Mrs. Mallard wanted a long life, Mrs. Mallard wanted a happy life, Mrs. Mallard wanted a short life, Mrs. Mallard wanted a busy life. And the right answer is option 3. Mrs. Mallard wanted a short life. Yes, the line implies that she was shuddering at the thought that life might be long. It means that she did not want to live long. But it's a real contrast, because the moment she gets the news of her husband's death, and after that when she thinks of a long life. She thinks of the years that are to come. Okay, next question number 22. How did Mrs. Mallard die? And the options are: Mrs. Mallard died of fever, Mrs. Mallard died of pneumonia, Mrs. Mallard died unable to bear the news of her husband's death, or option 4, Mrs. Mallard died of a heart disease. These are your options, students, and the right answer is option 4, Mrs. Mallard died of a heart disease. Next, question number 23. Kate Chopin in this story is perhaps writing against options: years of construction of femininity by male writers, option 2, the reiteration of gender stereotypes in literature, option 3, the certain behavioral expectations from a female character, option 4, all of these, option 5, none of these. And the right answer is option 4, all of these. Yes, Kate Chopin in this story is perhaps writing against all these perceptions. The perception of femininity that has been constructed by male writers down the ages, through the years, how our literature has reiterated or created gender stereotypes. That is also what she is trying to write against. And she is also trying to write against the behavioral expectations from a female character. That is, we are given a set of expectations for a female character, and she is trying to come out of that. She is trying to take us out of those expectations and giving us a new look. Question number 24. Josephine's character acts as option 1, a foil to Mrs. Mallard's character, an image to portray the ideal woman character. Number 3, both of these. Number 4, none of these. And the right answer is option 3, both of these. Yes, Josephine's character acts as a foil, a complete contrast to Mrs. Mallard's character, and it is also an image. It is an image to portray the ideal woman character. That is how the society wants to see an ideal woman. That is what Josephine's character is. Josephine's character is the character of perhaps an ideal woman according to the expectations of the society. And so, my dear students, the right answer is option 3, both of these. And well, now we will move on to the last question from the story, which is question number 25. And the question is: which of these statements is true according to the story? And your options are: Mr. Mallard is a bad husband, Mr. Mallard did not love his wife, Mrs. and Mr. Mallard's is a loveless marriage. Option 4, none of these. Option 5, all of these. And the right answer is option 4, none of these, because the story does not tell us that Mr. Mallard is a bad husband. The story does not tell us that Mr. Mallard did not love his wife. The story does not tell us that Mrs. and Mr. Mallard's is a loveless marriage. So the right answer will be option 4, none of these. And now, students, this is how we come to the end of this lesson and to the end of our session 2 of discussing the MCQs, the multiple choice questions from your story, The Story of an Hour by Kate Chopin. I hope all of you have enjoyed this and also have tried to make sense of the story through these little questions and the little details that we have discussed in this video. So keep waiting for the next videos. Please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Until then, happy reading. Bye bye.